Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video going to be a post-match reaction to yesterday's important, convincing, dominant 3-0 away win against Motherwell. Keeps us top of the table, increases our advantage over Aberdeen in terms of goal difference, and apart from Adam Ida, it looks like we got through the game without any new injuries, and we also saw the return to the team of Cameron Carter-Vickers. So in today's video we'll have a wee chat regarding the goals, my own ratings for the players, the stats of the game, and a wee discussion of a couple of the potentially controversial decisions during the game. Before we do crack on with that, the video, please do, if you are new to the channel and not yet subscribed, please do click that subscribe button. Keep the numbers pushing up and up towards 1,100. If you do like the video, please do click that like button, and do feel free to pop your own thoughts regarding the performances, the players, any differences in the ratings you would have given each player, and any other comments relating to the game yesterday, and looking ahead to the game on Wednesday against Dundee, before our important back-to-back matches against Aberdeen in the League Cup semi-final and Red Bull Leipzig in the Champions League on Bonfire Night on Tuesday. So, one or two wee surprises in terms of Brendan Rodgers' selection. Callum McGregor apparently has a wee bit of a groin thigh injury, and so he was rested. I suspect that this will be the case also on Wednesday against Dundee, so that he is fully fit for Aberdeen and Red Bull Leipzig next Saturday and a week on Tuesday. Paulo Bernardo also started in place of Arnie Engels, and so our midfield three were Hatate, Paulo Bernardo and Luke McCowan, and starting on the right in place of Nicholas Kuhn was James Forrest. In came Kyogo to lead the line, and Dyson Maida remained on the left, with the back four, as expected, of Johnston, Trusty, Scales and Valle. To be fair to Motherwell, they did actually start really well. A bit of a mix-up between Schmeichel and Paulo Bernardo presented a chance for Lennon Miller from the edge of the box, but he managed to hit the outside of the post rather than managing to get the shot on goal. And a few minutes later, Lennon Miller hit a very clever, dipping, swerving free kick that Kasper Schmeichel looked like he had covered, and then was slightly surprised to see the ball hit the bar and bounce away. So in the first 15 minutes or so, Motherwell did actually go pretty much 50-50 with Celtic, but as the game went on, Celtic got more and more in control. In the 27th minute, nice pass from Alex Valle gave Luke McCowan some space near the Motherwell box. He then nutmegged one of the Motherwell defenders and then shot the ball through the ruck of Motherwell defenders into the bottom corner, giving the goalkeeper no chance. Celtic going 1-0 up. A few minutes later, Celtic had a goal disallowed. Dyson Maida clean through on goal. He and the Motherwell defender collided. Dyson Maida and the Motherwell defender fell to the ground, and in falling to the ground, Dyson Maida accidentally knocked the ball past the goalkeeper with his hand and arm. The goal, quite rightly, was disallowed, although I'm not quite sure why the referee and VAR referee didn't decide that this was a penalty kick, because the Motherwell defender Coming across, took out Dyson Maeda, who was clean on goal. Some are saying that it was accidental. Whether it's accidental or not is of no real consequence in this circumstance. He made no contact with the ball. He took out the attacker, stopped him having a chance to shoot for goal. Should have been a penalty kick, should have been a red card. And who knows, maybe Celtic would have scored it. We may have missed the penalty. Either way, should have been a definite penalty kick. And pretty much about 90 to 95% of all the pundits and inverted commas experts agreed that it should have been a penalty. Not surprisingly, in the Sky Sports review booth, Chris Boyd didn't think it was, and James McFadden, the ex-Motherwell player, didn't think it was either. But pretty much every other pundit and person assessing it has given it as a penalty. And so it will be interesting to see what the review panel and Willie Collins' monthly VAR review video comes up with. And it'll be interesting to see what the referee, assistant referee, and VAR referees were all talking about as they analyse whether it was or wasn't a penalty. Anyway, Celtic kept their lead nicely to half-time, going in 1-0. Celtic came out after half-time, again, very much on the attack, very much controlling the game. Lovely ball into the box by Alex Valle, and a very forceful header by captain Alistair Johnston put Celtic 2-0 up around about the 56th minute. Celtic made a few substitutions. On came Cameron Carter-Vickers, on came Nicholas Kuhn. Slightly later on, Arnie Engels, Adam Ida came on, and late in the game, Luis Palma all came on. To be fair, I don't think Engels, Carter-Vickers, or Luis Palma had particularly good games. I think Carter-Vickers looked a bit rusty and slow. Happily, Austin Trusty and Johnston and Scales covered for him. Interestingly, when Carter-Vickers did come on, he and Trusty formed a central defensive partnership, and Liam Scales went out to left back. And I do wonder whether that might well be in Rodgers' plans in the longer term, to use Scales as a left back and having Trusty and Carter-Vickers in the middle. I think that does give Celtic more pace in the middle, also gives us an extra few inches of height and aerial ability for clearing the box with Austin Trusty rather than Liam Scales. And does mean that Liam Scales' occasional lack of pace tracking back won't be quite such a factor. And it was quite interesting. A couple of times, Austin Trusty made slight mistakes. The Motherwell player got in behind him, but Trusty had the pace and strength to get back to make a tackle or make an interception and clear any danger. And I actually liked seeing Carter-Vickers and Trusty as a partnership. Game carried on, and Nicholas Kuhn, nice move down the right-hand side, got to the byline, cut it back, and then Adam Ida at the front post. Nice, crisp finish. 3-0 up after 88 minutes. And a bit more controversy in the third minute of added time. One of the Motherwell players, Gordon, tried to tackle Adam Ida. It was rather late. It was quite a lunging challenge. High challenge as well. When I first saw it, I thought, well, fair enough, that's the yellow card. But quite clearly, when you see it on the VAR replays, it's actually quite a nasty challenge, well above the ankle, kind of challenge that can easily snap your Achilles tendon or break your ankle. Happily, it would appear Adam Ida has had a wee bit of a ligament strain without there being any actual major ankle injury, although I'm sure the medical staff and physios will be assessing him when they come back into training tomorrow in preparation for Wednesday's game. Hopefully it's just a minor bit of bumps and bruisings to his heel and ankle and Achilles area, and it quickly settles down in 24-48 hours. Next game for Celtic will be Dundee. suspect that there'll be a few changes from the lineup against Motherwell. May well be that Carter Vickers and Trusty start at central defence. Maybe Taylor comes back in place of Scales and Valle at left back. We'll see how Rodgers plays it. I suspect that probably McGregor stays out, McCowan will stay in, and Engels will come back in place of Bernardo, and Kuhn will come back in place of Forrest. Maybe we'll see Luis Palma or Forrest starting on the left rather than Dyson Maida. It'll be interesting to see how things pan out over the next couple of days. Looking at the stats for yesterday's game, possession was 78% to 22% in favour of Celtic. Shots 21-9 to Celtic. On targets 10-2 in favour of Celtic. Off targets were 5 for each side. Block shots, 2 Motherwell shots were blocked and 6 Celtic shots were blocked. Kasper Schmeichel made 2 saves and Oxborough in the Motherwell goal made 6 saves. Touches in the box was actually closer than it looked. 16 for Motherwell, 31 for Celtic, and corners were 10-3. Does, however, show that Celtic were very much the dominant side. Motherwell actually had more touches in the box than I was expecting, but every other stat shows Celtic were massively the dominant team, massively in charge of the game, and I think 3-0 was a very fair result in the end. Just finally, my own wee thoughts regarding player ratings. Given Kasper Schmeichel 6.5, he made a couple of nice easy saves, recycled the ball, got the attacks going again, but didn't really have very much to do in the game, especially in the second half. Given 7.5 for both Alistair Johnston and Alex Valle. Valle was involved in the first goal and the second goal. And Alistair Johnston, great captain's performance, full of passion, full of aggression, full of attack, up and down the wing, defending brilliantly, and scored the second goal. And I've made Alistair Johnston man of the match, based mostly on good captain's performance, good in defence, and got forward and scored a goal, although Alex Valle also was well up there in my stakes for man of the match. 7 for Austin Trusty and 6.5 for Liam Scales. Austin Trusty had a wee bit more to do than Liam Scales. I thought Trusty did a good job assisting Carter Vickers when he came on, because I think Carter Vickers was a wee bit slow and rusty. Liam Scales, when he went to left back, did a fine defensive job, didn't really have much in the way of ability to get forward and attack, as Celtic were so dominant in the midfield and the final third with their front 6 players. I've gone 7 for Luke McCowan. Thought in the first half he was actually controlling things very nicely, lots of nice passing, linking defence, midfield and attack, getting the ball out wide. Thought he did go a wee bit anonymous in the second half, so 7 for Luke McCowan. Thought Paul Bernardo actually was really quite disappointing. He nearly gave away a goal early in the match. Didn't think his passing, his tackling, his midfield support was quite up to scratch, so 6 for him, and 6.5 for Rio Hatate. He did play the whole 90 minutes, which is unusual for him, but no real major contributions to the team that I can recall. Given James Forrest 6 out of 10, I was actually quite disappointed. Didn't think he really had much attacking intent. Didn't really beat the fullback, didn't get to the byline, not many good passes, no real breaking into the box, no real coming into the box to support the attack, so 6 for him. 6.5 for both Dyson Maida and Kyogo. They both had fine games without really making much in the way in the attacking third. Kyogo had a really nice shot that was well saved in the second half. Dyson Maida did have that potential penalty kick when he was pulled down in the box, but neither really, for me, set the heather on fire. Neither really gave a particularly good performance, so perfectly serviceable, so 6.5 for them. Given 6 for Engels, Palma and Carter Vickers. Didn't really think Arnie Engels did very much after he came on. Hardly heard his name being announced. Carter Vickers, a wee bit slow, a bit rusty, but he has been out for about a month or so, so understandable. And I'm sure that this half an hour or so of game time will stand him in great stead for Dundee and then Aberdeen. Maybe he'll be on the bench again on Wednesday. Maybe he'll start and come off at half time or after 60 minutes. We'll see how that goes. Luis Palma, I don't think really had much time to actually get involved in the game. A couple of nice wee runs and passes down the left. He did get into the box right almost with the last kick of the ball, but unfortunately hit the shot at the wrong side of the side netting. So 6 for him and 7 for both Adam Ida and Nicholas Kuhn. Adam Ida, almost as soon as he came on, hit the post with a good shot, and then, of course, scored the third goal to wrap up the victory in the 88th minute. And Nicholas Kuhn looked much more busy than James Forrest had been up and down that right-hand side, cutting into the box, some nice passes, some nice crosses, and, of course, set up the third goal for Ida to score in the 88th minute. So 7 for Ida and 7 for Kuhn. Now, you may well have your own thoughts regarding player ratings, your own assessments for each player, so do pop those into the comment section. If you have anything to add or change or amend, do feel free. It's all part of the debate and sharing of opinions. Checking the various different Celtic news sites, can't see any groundbreaking or important news as we speak, and so we'll leave the video there. Before we go, just a wee reminder, encouragement, if you are new to the channel, do click that subscribe button. Do click the like button if you've liked the video, and do feel free to use the comment section for pleasant, polite debating points, thoughts, opinions, and do feel free to check out the various different sorts of videos. Recently we've had some popular tribute appreciation videos for some ex-Celtic players such as Dixie Dean, George McCluskey, Frank McGarvey, Harry Hood and Paul Wilson, so do check those out, and I'm planning other ones in the series each week for the foreseeable future. So we'll finish things off at that point there. Until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.